I will clarify a bit more about those human rights laws. Articles 14, for example, discrimination. Everything works for the midwife and for the woman. So if women are being discriminated against in their birth choices and their access to birth facilities because of how a hospital might be operating and they want to work outside it, and a midwife is providing care for a woman outside the system, that's respecting both her human rights and the woman's human rights. So the legal technical challenge would be that the woman's being discriminated against, being treated less favourably. Somebody who doesn't want a vaccination or can't have a vaccination or doesn't want to give an opinion on it but isn't having a vaccination is being discriminated against, when actually there's a legal requirement to make reasonable adjustments not to treat people less favourably. So if somebody has a history of blood clotting, or they don't have to give any reason, they're not having the vaccination, they should not be discriminated against, not treated less favourably, and reasonable adjustments in their employment and regulation. It's unlikely those things will actually happen because employers are a very dominant position. They will fire people, they will take people away from the front line and move them somewhere else, but mostly they will sack them. And as we see a desperate shortage in midwives globally and also in the UK, this kind of works in favour, supply and demand. There will always be a demand for midwives. Again, it comes back to truly keep calm and carry on. If we are acting from a position of angst and anxiety and saying this is bad and this is good, the calmness doesn't come through. The one thing we need to do for calmness is whatever makes us feel good, whether it's meditating, music, going for a walk. Simple self-care basics are elemental. Nature needs to be calm so that we can provide care. And if we're feeling too much anxiety, we need to go into a safe space, take care, and then come back and offer our services. In Belgium, they've just had a Supreme Court hearing saying the government has to withdraw its laws that's imposing on the citizens, restricting their freedoms. That is unlawful. So this is a really good precedent. A precedent is, one ruling that other countries can look at and say, well, look, they've got the same laws essentially that the UK or that France, Germany, Italy, Austria, the rest of the world have, even Australia. If you live in Australia, it doesn't seem that there are any human rights because they just build kind of concentration camps for migrants, for refugees, and now for healthcare workers or anybody else who doesn't go along with the government. So when you've got, xenophobic and fear-based governments, whether it's Australia or the UK or anywhere else, it doesn't work to combat fear with fear. It works to be calm. So keep calm, carry on. Remember, the woman's rights and the midwife's rights are kind of equal. We all enjoy the right to private family life, to fairness, not to be discriminated against. Also, Article 3 is the right not to suffer inhumane and degrading treatment. But there isn't really the opportunity to take long court cases. It's about action. Now, the action starts with calmness and then offering people and inviting them to create an alternative. So there's all sorts of possibilities of working in group practice with other midwives or even working independently by oneself. Simply provide and invite people to invite us to work with them, and we can be the resource that others need us to be, a calm midwife present for their pregnancy, their labour, their postpartum period. Wishing you all great self-compassion.